All right, so this is we're gonna call this the first look of this 92 YJ. Couple things that I noticed last night that kind of iffy. So there is this aftermarket AEM air intake, cold air intake. It does have a cold air or a colder. It does have a carb sticker, but I do not believe that this is the one that goes to this Jeep. So I'm going to look up that carb number and check it out, because my question is where does this bracket go if this is the right one? And you can't turn it or twist it. So my guess is it's not the right one. The guy told me, oh yeah, pass smog with this. Questions. All right, what else do we see? He did tell me that he had recently put on a new water pump, so that's what's going on over there. Looks like it's got a new thermostat housing. Where's the water pump? Because that's just the thermostat housing. So it has a new thermostat housing, but where's the water pump? Oh, the other thing I just noticed is the battery is not attached and it's sitting on something. I'm not sure what it's sitting on. Whatever it is, it's only half. A hose clamp on the battery terminal. Yeah, that's nice and safe, huh? We'll have to sort that out. Okay, he said that he put spark plugs and he put a water pump on it, but okay. Possibly a newer water pump is cleaner, but I don't think that's 100% new. Not quite as new as that thermostat housing. Definitely needs a driver's side motor mount, so I might as well replace both of them at the same time. Let's see here. Pump looks dry. I don't see any leaks. I didn't hear it whining last night when I hooked everything up. So far, cold air intake, battery, motor mounts. This is a Badlands winch. I'm going to say that it needs some love because it looks like they just kind of hacked everything up and threw the box in here. It's just sort of sitting here. So I'm going to have to figure that out. It's got an in-out deal. Trying to see what else we see here. There is a chunk of wood down there, so I'll figure out what the chunk of wood's all about. Let's see. Not a big fan of these mirror brackets. They're pretty uglied up, so probably have to change those out or clean them up, take them off and clean them up. Those look like self-tappers, so probably it's a universal, so whatever. Okay, tires look good, but who knows what the brakes look like. Let's see. It does have, it appears, aftermarket springs, but it doesn't look like they changed the shocks. So the shocks look like they are old. Let's see. Piece of a bucket. Let's see. I should have done this from the other side, but whatever. Feels like vacuum lines are still intact on the disconnect. That is a stock stabilizer, so that's going to need to be swapped out for something better. Looking here on the ground, I don't see any leaks from it being sat here overnight. Yeah, there's a name on that shock right there. Sensatrack probably, so that's not for a lift kit. Let's see. Sway bar disconnected. This original. The rubbers are all rotted out on them. Looks like we've got blowout on the drag link. Go ahead and replace all those. Track bar doesn't move, so it's in there pretty good, so that's a plus. But I'm also told on these you don't need them. I just know that on the Cherokees I had, if you didn't put them in, you got severe death wobble. That was always entertaining. But it looks like everything else is decent. I'm gonna have to crawl down over there and look, because they put the catalytic converter up under that shield right there, so I need to make sure that the catalytic converter is in place. It looks like it is, but I needed to get down there and double check. But the motor looks pretty clean. I don't see a bunch of dirt and crap on it, so that's a plus. Can only see a little bit of the rotor right there, and it has definitely got a decent groove. So most likely we'll end up doing the brakes as well, because there's nothing worse than going off-roading and then having absolutely no brake. Yeah, it's pretty worn, it looks like, without sticking my hand up in there. Oh shit, there's another light bar down here. I didn't see it last night. The steering box looks dry, so yeah, I just need to figure out what the lift is. It looks like it's probably a 2 or a 2.5. These are factory drop shackles, and they wrap the wires around that. That's not really very brilliant. Tires look okay. Can't really see. Yeah, you can see the brakes in there a little bit. You can see there's a decent lip, so pretty sure that that's not going to be very expensive to swap. All right, give me a second. I'm going to relocate towards the rear. All right, so the other thing is I would like to have a winch bumper put on here instead of just a winch plate. So just more of a practical thing than anything else. And since this is a Badlands, I'm going to try to hunt down this manual selector switch, see if I can get one. If I can't get one, I can take this one out, maybe weld one together, something. It's got aftermarket headlights. I'm not sure what the red black wires are that are coming off them, so either something's not wired up on the lights. Could that be a blinker? I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so that covers pretty much everything under the hood. So I will look at the brake reservoir and everything later. Inside, before I go down, it's going to need some door handles, door pulls, because they're ugly on both sides. It looks like that somebody did a tied paracord, but then they never actually installed it, and this one is actually missing the clip anyway, so there's no screws or clip for that to go through. I will be pulling the stereo out. One, because I'm a Jeep person, so I don't really need that stereo. See what this says. 2023. tags expired on the 14th, but he says he paid them. Oh shit, they paid $900 for that from the previous owner. Okay. It was a little funky getting it into reverse last night, so I will have to check in on that. That must be the light switch that they installed for the bars. The driver's side handle is just as yucky. It just seems like a bunch of garbage. Somebody put some time into this. I have some paracord. Maybe I'll do that. We've got some speakers in the back. I wish it had a storage compartment under the rear seat. It doesn't. And there is no spare tire, which again I thought it came with. And then it does have this stereo bar up here across the top. Not sure if I'm going to keep that or not. Probably if I don't put it. I do have a different stereo that will fit in the factory hole that I wouldn't care if it gets messed up, but this thing is just begging for somebody to steal it. So let's get rid of that. We'll put a different one in here. Then we'll see. It's got speakers up there, it's got speakers down there. At least they didn't cut open the doors, which is kind of nice. And then we're going to try to get down here. Okay, now that we're down here, I saw some writing on the front spring. I'm going to see if I can clean it up and get the part number off. That will tell me something. But yes, there is a catalytic converter here, so that's good, because if not, these are expensive to replace because a frickin' skid plate. Transmission looks good. Like I said, I don't see any drips on the ground, so that's good. This does need to be cleaned. No body lift, so the height of this thing is based on the body lift. Factory rear drums. I think those shocks are white in the rear, or it might have been at one point. It's hard to tell. They kind of look whiter, but they don't have any red boots, so I'm not gonna say. I don't see silver, white. If they're silver, they're probably Pro Comp. If they're white, they might have been Rancho or just a regular stock one. I don't know what that bent clip is right there. Clearly it was bolted to something. Maybe the rest of the exhaust, because they fucking hacked it right there. So maybe that's the problem. That's the other problem. The way they have the exhaust run, so yeah. But so the exhaust is resting on the fucking plate. Okay, that's interesting. But it does have this spacer, and I don't remember if that looks like an aftermarket spacer that drops the transmission and everything. So that probably says that it is a 2.5 facelift, and then instead of cocking the transfer case correctly, they got the cheap kit and put in the spacer. So not a lot of work down here that it needs. There's a better angle on the actuator. It is definitely old. It's still in place. I am going to most likely do a modified and get rid of it to start with. Just take it apart and pin the side over with a bolt and then put it all back together. And then down the road I will replace the whole passenger side axle shaft with a solid one. I really doubt that this 4-cylinder will ever generate enough torque to break that, but I don't want something happening and then ending up with 3-wheel drive and a bunch of shavings inside of the housing from a bearing or something going bad. We did get these really nice skull caps. The lug nuts look like they could use some love. But let's see, yeah, 33, 1250s, 15. I forgot how big these tires actually look when they're on the Jeep. I had these same tires on a couple of different vehicles. They're not too bad. I'm trying to see if I can find the date code. Date code, it's probably on the inside if it's not here. Yep, I don't see the date code here on the outside. So they probably got them mounted on the inside. Alright, and the only other thing I saw that needed to be addressed is that rear tailgate and bumper, because this is an ugly bumper. Don't like it. They hacked it anyway to make the big ass tire fit, and because they had the big tire on here, they damaged the thing. That's cracked, it's split, so I'll take that off, probably weld that back together. It looks like this is even broke too, so it split it all the way up, probably just from the vibration. Let's see, did they mount one of these tires backwards with the sticker? I don't know. Yeah, there's a little body damage right here, but that's okay because I plan on removing the fenders and putting just the aftermarket fenders on there. Does this one have a number? It does. $810, and there's something right back here. I can't. Can't really read that. All right, so an 810. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But all right, so the other thing I could do if I wanted is to swap these hubs and make them manual locking hubs, and I probably will once I do the axle shaft. Oh, and it needs a heater core apparently, because the heater core is disconnected and looped back into the system right there, which is weird since they said that they replaced the water pump and everything. Why they didn't see about hooking it back up. And something behind the dash is definitely disconnected because there's some threaded post here with no bolts. Okay, so there's the other port, and they just don't know what the hell that's all about. So probably get a heater core for it. It's not like they work really great, but a little heat's better than no heat, I guess. And then some modifications I plan on doing from what I've been reading up on this motor, because I don't know a lot about it, but swapping out the intake manifold itself for a TJ manifold, changes the brackets around a little bit, getting a different power steering bracket that will move the stupid adjuster nut from down in there in the stupid zone to up here so that you can get to it. So if I'm gonna get in there and take some of that stuff apart, the other thing I'll probably do is get rid of the manual fan, get a 3-core radiator with an electric fan unit on it, or 2. We'll see what kind of fans I can hunt down for it. And I'm not sure if I can find a smog legal exhaust manifold or header, but if I can, I will hunt one down. And probably do the other two upgrades, which is convert this to a 4-liter or 4.0 throttle body, which apparently bolts on here fairly easy, and swapping out the fuel injectors for the single to a 4-port just to get better fuel atomization done. So, and then like I said, getting rid of all the stuff there for the vacuum powered 4-wheel drive swap over, and then getting rid of all these vacuum lines that you don't need, because that will all go away and it'll just be a manual connection. And then tidying up all this electrical, because this, I don't know why we have 3 big, I mean, I can understand one from the alternator, one for the winch, but I'm not sure what that other bullshit is. So yeah, we'll go through the cables and sort that shit out, and then everything else looks good. So yeah, this is basically just a real quick look around. It'll give me an idea. I'm going to try to schedule an appointment and get in and get the vehicle registered in my name, get it insured so I can start driving it. Yeah, this mirror on the driver's side is just as bad. Looks like it's been out in the Bay Area, which it has been, and this aluminum's got some salt water on it. Started eating it. I'm going to dig out my hot air gun and see if I can remove the sticker. I'm going to paint this thing something. I haven't decided exactly. I'm thinking either OD green or Air Force blue. Haven't really decided, so we'll see. I'm just kind of looking over things here. So yeah, I want to do the tube fenders that are high cut front and back, do a frame slider, do a regular bumper. Somebody had one last night, and before the Jeep showed up, the guy was asking $150 for it, and after the Jeep showed up, it was already sold. So I didn't get a chance to jump on that one, regretfully. It was actually the one I wanted, but I will hunt down a bumper. I haven't checked the oil, but that will be something. I'm going to change the oil anyway, just because reasons. And then let's see how much coolant it has. Jesus. It has water for coolant, so that's wonderful. We'll have to swap that out because, you know, people. Power steering seems okay. Yeah, I don't know what brand air filter that is. But all right, well, thanks for watching, and I will keep this one updated as I do more work to it.